Are you trying to build the best team in Madden? Well, head on over to instantmuttcoins.com to avoid the packs, save some racks. Link is in the description below. Use code CC now for 20% off. Hey, what is going on, Madden family? We are back ranking running backs today, okay? And again, I really enjoyed not doing the tier list way because it allowed us to sort of speak on things a little bit more, show stats, and just talk deeper about it. So that's what we're going to do again today, okay? Talk about the best running backs in the game, who you should be using, who's worth it. Save you some coins. Let's roll. So as we talk about running backs here, there are three categories of running backs. There truly are just three. One, there's the big back, and by big back I mean over 245 pounds. And within the game right now, there is Derrick Henry, Jerome Bettis, and AJ Dillon. One of those guys has a good card, the others do not. The key advantage with that is, hey, they break more tackles, they fall forward more often, they can air truck pretty well. Cards like that are up there. To me, playing on next gen, Derrick Henry is the best running back in the game. On old gen, maybe not so much. But he obviously has problems catching the ball, so there's a downside. And that's one of the good things with the running backs this year is there's not one running back who does everything perfectly. So you kind of need a bit of a two-headed monster for how you want to roll through the game. So obviously when we get a new Bettis, that's going to be a really good card too. But let's just think about it that way, right? So we have that tier, or that section of running backs. Then we have the receiving back archetype. And what makes the receiving back archetype really good is the fact that they get backfield master for one ability point, which is better routes, the hot routes obviously, plus increased catching against linebackers. What that means is linebackers or safeties at linebacker will probably get agged on by them as well. For one ability point, it's pretty good, right? And then we have everyone else. We have everyone else. So let's take a look at these cards. Let's talk about it. So Shaun Alexander is a power back, very similar to Derrick Henry, but we see here he does not hit the weight limits on this. Again, he's a fast card, probably very similar to Bo Jackson. Imagine he plays pretty good, but is not Derrick Henry. Now for his price versus Bo, he's 600,000 coins, and yeah, he's a little bit faster and stuff. It's not necessary. Same thing, Bo Jackson being 1,000,000 coins is overpriced. Bo is fast. Oh, Bo's fast. Bo's fast. He's the same speed as Shaun Alexander. They're basically the same card, right? They really are. See, their weight is the same, their strength is about the same. Like they're pretty similar cards, okay? Both really good, both overpriced in my opinion. And then we get down here, Derrick Henry. To me, again, next gen, he's A1. He's A1. Old gen, not as good. But we see here, weight 247, he hits that mark right there. Slower card. Feels really good despite the low agility, despite the low change of direction. He actually feels really smooth. I really like this card. There's a reason why I have him on my no money spent account as opposed to any other running back, because I think he's the best. Now on our main account, we normally just sort of run like the highest cards, so we don't have him, but we'll probably just pick him up there as well. As we get to receiving backs here, we're going to see Kamara and McCaffrey. Now give me Kamara over McCaffrey. Speed, they're going to be very similar cards, right? So as far as the receiving back archetype, it goes Kamara, McCaffrey, Bush. Now Bush is cheap. He's not very fast anymore, but you can just run base Reggie Bush and you can do pretty good with him. He's not going to outrun a lot of people, but he's going to give you the ability of what you want to do. Have really good catching with your running back, being able to put him on angle routes, flat routes, and do a lot. McCaffrey here, definitely not as good as Kamara though. He's definitely not. He's not. He's just not. Right? I'm surprised that this card wasn't more juiced. Still a good card, but for the coins, for 300k, I'd rather use Reggie Bush personally. As we get up even more, Todd Gurley, an elusive back here. He's kind of a tank. He's a bit of a tank out there, but again, really overpriced. Really overpriced. I don't even have him on my theme team. That's how overpriced he is. At 600,000 coins. But Kamara is more expensive than McCaffrey. He's what, second most expensive running back in the game. Easily the best receiving back in the game. And it's not close. He's multiple speed faster. He hits the routes more on all Madden for us here. But again, if you're using him at receiver versus man, he's going to get bagged by one step ahead and stuff anyway. Same thing with McCaffrey. He's not going to do a whole lot out there. If you run a 2-1-2 set, yeah, sure. He could do a little bit out there, but it is what it is. Card feels great. Card feels great. Card feels great. Big fan of the card. On either gen. Now, when we get to some of these other guys, they're obviously pretty low overall. But someone like Edgerrin James here, who I feel like not a lot of people have used. I really did like this card when I used it for a while. Big fan. His next card I will like as well, right? And he's not very expensive. I mean, look at 75k for a pretty good running back. When you get to MJD here, again, these are like the low end cards, right? But this is a budget running back right here. He's a budget running back. So if you were on a strict budget, I would say get the lower Derrick Henry on next gen, get Reggie Bush on current gen, and if you want more of a bruiser type power back to run through people, there's cards out there that exist. This James Robinson, who I've actually played against, is not fast, but he's pretty good. It's a pretty good card. I'm surprised I'm saying that, but it's a pretty good card. I'm not sure if it's the whole being short at 5'9" and having a high weight there. Very similar to Sean Alexander, kind of like a baby Sean Alexander there as well. Tomlinson, he's okay. AP, he's okay, right? They are what they are, right? They don't stand out. They don't really stand out. A lot of these guys don't actually stand out. Now, Herschel Walker is a cheaper Bo Jackson, right? Cheaper. He's like a baby. He's more baby Bo than Bo, in my opinion. This card feels super smooth. Loved using this card for a while. Actually had him on the main team as a backup for the, more of those power runs when I needed to fall forward, and definitely like this card. Being bigger in this game really does help. So being 6'1", 225 here is very helpful. Herschel Walker's a good card. He gets another card, it's gonna be up there. It's gonna be up there. Now he's not gonna hit those weight limits and stuff. Shady, unfortunate that card isn't better. Jim Brown right here, again, another card that doesn't quite have it. Unfortunately, again, it's Jim Brown. You would want to really use Jim Brown, but he just doesn't fall into that category. Now, one card I feel like is a real beast is this Kenyon Drake card. Okay, this is the one I'm selling apparently. I don't know what makes this card feel so good, but he feels really good. Big fan of this Kenyon Drake card. Okay, and he's not that expensive. He's 100k. You can pick him up pretty simple. If you don't have Derrick Henry for your bigger back, this is kind of the guy I would be using for the price point right here. I'm telling you, this is a good card. I don't know what it is about the card, but on the field, he does work. He does work. Like he does. And we're gonna get to a couple of these other cards up here. Again, AP, he's a power back as well. Big card, plays well. He's just more expensive than Kenyon Drake, right? He's more expensive. Give me Kenyon Drake over him personally for the price. There's no power up. You're gonna get Drake to 95 speed real easy. AP to get to 94 speed, it's gonna cost you. Training, a couple extra 1,000 coins. He costs another 50k. Avoid AP right now. Just it's not worth it. And then we're gonna get some of these really other backs up here. The Saquon is a good card. He's not worth the coins. Barry sits right here, and Barry is a super interesting case because we are all assuming he's gonna get a 50 card, which is gonna be a 96 go to 97, right? And so if you take his stats right here, he's 91 speed. He'll be 95 speed probably. Goes up to 97. Just add 4 to all his stats. He's going to be sick. This card's going to be really good. But to power him up, if you have to, you just got to assume you're going to have to include this card. Yikes. He's going to be so expensive, but Barry's always super juiced in the game. Feels like a little bowling ball out there. Barry's a great card, but the whole power up aspect, how much it's going to cost to get full Barry, scares me. It scares me because you're going to have to get this card, which is 500,000 coins, is 96, which would be a couple 100,000. His power up will be 300 or 400k. Like, yeah, this card's going to be well over 1 million coins. I'll get him, but he's gonna be kind of a waste in my opinion. But again, that is what it is. So those are the running backs that I really like. We could go even lower. Again, the only running back I like really lower is Reggie Bush. Reggie Bush's card is still good. It is still good. You could still use it to stay. He's not have the breakaway speed, and that's fine. But for his price point and what you get for him, it's pretty good. It is pretty good. Same thing with Baby Henry. Here, Cordero Patterson, he's a fine little cheap card as well. But Bush is good. Derrick Henry here for 68,000 coins. Again, slow, right? He is slow, but you don't need him to be fast to pick up 2 yards, right? I'm just saying you don't. But it's an interesting case and an interesting look at some of these running backs. So again, if you are building a 2-headed monster or a 3-headed monster running back and you want multiple ones, again, get you the big power back. Derrick Henry, Jerome Bettis. If AJ Dillon ever gets a card, we ever get another running back, maybe Dickerson comes into the game or something, who knows? I don't know who else would be hit the weight limit needed there. Get you a receiving back. Bush, McCaffrey, Kamara, even Antonio Gibson's 89 is fine. And then if you wanted to get someone else that's a little more versatile, a little more well-rounded, obviously you can get one of them, but don't go out spending 700,000 coins on a Saquon Barkley or something. You want to use Power Pass on them, but some of these other cards, just not worth it. Okay? So I hope this is helpful for you guys. Again, I've used a lot of these cards. We've tried them out. Play a lot, obviously. So hopefully you can maybe save some coins here, get rid of some of these cards which aren't going to perform up to their price point. Maybe you can pick them up later on if their price drops, but why overpay for a card that isn't really as good? That's my point. Be great. Take care. I'm out. Peace.